One day, I happened to run into her and was taken aback. She was completely different from what she was like 3 years ago, almost unrecognizable. 3 years ago, she got divorced, lost her job, and her child had a very serious illness. She wore a men's undershirt, a pair of semi-new and not so new slippers, and weighed up to 80 kilograms. When she met acquaintances on the street, she always asked, "Why am I so unlucky? Why is God so unfair to make me divorce and lose my job? Who did I offend?" Everyone had tried to persuade her, but she wouldn't listen. She went to smash the glass of her ex-husband's house and beat up his new wife. She went to the school to make a fuss and asked the teacher why her son couldn't get the first place in the exam. Eventually, she had several attempts at cutting her wrists, taking sleeping pills, and even attempting to hang herself. She told everyone that life was so meaningless. Everyone finally got tired of her. But her 3 years later astonished me so much that I thought I had mistaken her for someone else. In front of me, she was slender and tall, wearing a fashionable dress and beautiful makeup. She was also driving a nice car and rolled down the window to call my name. If it weren't for the scar on her wrist, there would be no trace of the past. We sat down in a tea house, and she said, "Surprised at how I've become?" I asked, "Is it because of a new love?" She laughed and said, "I'm still living alone, but I've learned one principle. People can't live in the past, or else everything will be ruined." 3 years ago, I was on the verge of collapse, thinking that the whole world was treating me unjustly, thinking that I was the unluckiest person, and even believing that life was just a pile of garbage. After the last suicide attempt was rescued, I saw the first willow in spring on the hospital bed. That touch of light yellow made me burst into tears suddenly. After being discharged, I went into the store and bought a spring dress for myself, but found that I could hardly fit into it. In the mirror was a swollen and sallow face. I'm only 33 years old. What right do I have to be decadent? Walking on the street in spring, I smelled the fragrance of the flowers on the trees and the aroma of the bakery, and saw the children running and laughing. I suddenly had an epiphany. Before, I lived in my own past and refused to come out. In fact, life was still beautiful. I bought a fragrant cream bread and started envisioning the new life that was about to begin. Just like building a house, I laid the foundation anew with the best mindset. In the following 3 years, I opened a restaurant, sold clothes, and did product promotion until I had my own company. I became more and more confident, and I realized that I could still live more beautifully. Weight loss, beauty treatments, singing Peking opera, traveling, parties. I retrieved the former me. No, not even more happy and beautiful than before. Who said that a woman can only be beautiful with love? A healthy and happy life can also make us more beautiful. Women don't necessarily have to rely on men, especially those who live in the past. They will never get out of the pain and have no tomorrow. I was stunned listening to her. How well she put it. People who live in the past will never have a tomorrow.